Hello and welcome to this instructional handover video for the Elddis Autoquest 185. I'm going to walk you around the outside of the vehicle, showing you how to operate it, and then we'll move on inside the vehicle. So it's based on a Peugeot Boxer. We've got folding manual mirrors that then will electrically operate both bottom top glasses with the controls inside. Behind the driver's door low down you will have your drain for your fresh water. So the blue lever is the fresh water drain. You open close this if you want to fill it and drain it. So that is your fresh water filler point for draining down the tank. To fill the tank you'll need to just remove the cap, put a hose pipe in, and that will allow you to fill up the fresh water. Obviously if you forget, then it will come out the little blue handle. Just close the handle and that will allow the tank to fill. Once it is full, it will overflow out of the little cap area just there. To the right hand side of that, you've got your fridge vents. So there are some fridge vent covers that are included with this particular model. And next to that is the vent for the whale heating and hot water system. Nothing you need to do on here. Just leave it and be careful that it does get warm when you are using it. Behind the back wheel, you'll see this is where the locker for the leisure battery is located. And also where you put the mains cable when you plug it in to mains electric. To close the door you'll see there's a little cutout. Just place it in there and then lock it in place with the key that's supplied. Below that you've got the grey water, so this is your wastewater drain. So you'll want to open and close this as per the tank capacity. So when you're leaving the site just go over the grid generally and empty it through. And then behind that we have got the vent for the heater system. Again, there's nothing really you need to do on this. Make sure there's no obstructions to the vents that are on there. Behind that, in the rear locker area, you've got the toilet cassette. So this is here. To remove it, lift it up, slide it out. You've got a little vacuum button at the bottom that you'll press when you're lifting this up. Remove the little grey cap, and that will allow you then to empty it. Generally empty it by turning it upside down. And on here we've got a handle and we've got the wheels. Put your chemicals either directly in through the cap there or in through the toilet. And when you're ready, just slide it back in place. Just make sure it's seated nicely just in there. Now you'll only be able to remove this if you actually have the toilet blade valve closed inside, and we'll come on to that part of the video when we move inside the vehicle. To the rear of the vehicle we've got a reversing camera, so a high up mounted reversing camera, and then coming around to the passenger side we've got the gas locker area here. So this can take up to a maximum of 2 6-kilogram bottles, and connected to it is the regulator, which you'll need to connect through to the gas bottles of your choice. Generally we'll recommend propane, and you'll need to buy a propane pigtail to connect this up. The vehicle is fitted with a Fiamma awning. I will send you a separate video for that. And we've got a Teleco aerial that was probably fitted as standard by the original dealer. We've got an electric step. The controls for the electric step are just located just inside the door. And the door also comes with a full height fly screen, just as shown there, and we've got an awning light on the outside as well. In front of that, the previous customers have had an external plug socket, so this is source of power out of the vehicle. This is a main socket. When you close it through, just tap it and it tells you there how to open it. Press the button and pull the lever and that will open it up. In front of that we've got the diesel filler point. Just use your engine key to gain access to there, and that will allow you to fill up the diesel. We've got the bonnet release catch, which is just found just inside the passenger door. Underneath the carpet, in this little panel here, is where you will find the engine batteries located. We've got a little toolkit that's supplied with the vehicle just there. We've got a glove box, passenger airbag, and another hidden cooled glove box with the aircon just there. This particular model's got curtains to screen off the front area, so I'll come on to that when we go inside. To get access to the bonnet area, just above the Peugeot sign, under the Lion, you'll find there's a little yellow lever. Push that up and that will release the bonnet. Things to note here is your negative point. Underneath the cap where I'm pointing at there is where your positive point is, and you'll need your key to release that. We've got your oil and your dipstick. And we've got your screen wash to the side just there. You've got a stand to hold up the bonnet, and when you finish using it just release it down and that will close the bonnet just like so. So that's the outside of the vehicle gone through. Let's move on inside the van. The door, just before I move in, does have a door stay just at the top. Just need to close it through there, and that will allow the door to stay ajar when you're inside the vehicle. So the main control panels for the particular vehicle can be found just at the top here. So I'm going to start from the beginning. Now on all the Elddises you'll have a main master key. So this is like a main isolator. So first of all we want to turn that on. Yeah, and then we'll want to turn on the lights. So we'll press the button down, 0's off, 1 is on. So we press that down and that will activate the lights within inside the vehicle. The next one is the pump. So we can turn the pump on and off, and this will work depending on the pressure that's built into the actual pump itself. So you can leave it on, and as soon as you turn the taps on, the pump will kick in, or you can turn it off. It's really your choice on that side of it. Bottom button to the right is the awning light. So that's the exterior light that I showed you earlier in the video. And the water and power is shown on the gauge at the top. To find the power, you just look at it now and it'll tell you what volts are in it. Water, press the button and it will tell you the line underneath at the bottom, and this is your fresh water. Just be conscious of, obviously, whatever you use at your fresh water will go into your wastewater, and then when that is empty, you will need to empty your wastewater. So that's the main control panel system for the vehicle. We'll then want to move on to the heating and the hot water, and that can be found just underneath here. Now, just before we do that, you've also got one other important item that you'll need to remember, and that can be located just in this area here. So the little yellow valve just at the bottom here in there is your drain valve for your boiler. So in the position where it's down at the minute, so across pointing towards the back of the vehicle, that will allow you to fill up your boiler. If you lift that up vertical, so it's pointing at the roof, it will drain down the water from the boiler. The boiler can be located just in here, and that's that unit there, which is located next to all your gas isolation valves for the different appliances. As you see, the isolation valves at the moment, they're in a full working order. If you turn them across, then that will isolate the gas supply, just like so, to the individual appliance. So, as it is just there, lying down, pointing to the back of the vehicle, you will be able to fill up your boiler for hot water to be pumped from your fresh water tank into the actual main boiler, and then allow you to select the items that I'm going to show you on the control panel. So on the control panel itself, the water's controlled at the top, so we've got off currently at the minute. Click it again and we can either select gas, so this is what you're going to heat the water with, gas and 1 kilowatt electric, 1 kilowatt electric only, 2 kilowatt electric only, gas only, gas and 1 kilowatt electric, and gas and 2 kilowatt electric. So depending on what you've got on, so at the minute we'd leave it like that, and as long as there's water in the boiler, that will heat the water on 1 kilowatt electric. Pretty simple. To turn it off, rotate it all the way around and it will go to off. The heating of the vehicle is done in the same way, but using the bottom button. So again, you can either select gas, 2 kilowatt electric, 1 kilowatt electric, 2 kilowatt electric, 3 kilowatts. Now on 3 kilowatts, be careful with the power source. Gas only, or a mixture of gas and electric. So again, if you go onto the 3 kilowatt, just be careful that the campsite that you're on can take that power source on your pitch. If not, it starts tripping your electrics. Just reduce the power output down. And then if you want to change the heat within the vehicle, you press the up and down buttons just here. And you'll see the little line below will go up or down, depending on how cold or hot you want it in the vehicle. Likewise, if you want the heating off, as of today, just turn it round and that unit will go dormant after a few seconds. Yeah, so that's your heating and your hot water, and remembering to shut the drain valve just in there. The main electrics in the vehicle can be found in this little hatch here. So this is your main control board, which will then give you nicely labelled your options there for your charger, your water heater, your boiler and your sockets. This little button here is your test button. So if you didn't think you were getting power to the vehicle, you would press that button. Now if it flicks down like it is, it tells you that your power is coming to the actual vehicle. If you press that button and nothing happened, then there's probably something wrong with the pitch that you're on or the mains cable that you're charging with. Below are your fuses, all nice and neatly labelled in a little line there with all the ratings of the fuses on there. So again, nice and easy to find, nice and easy to locate. Underneath the bed, which you can lift up, you will have some storage, your water pump, there's your awning pole. Just be careful storing things on these concertina pipes. This is what carries your heating around the vehicle, so just be careful on that side of it. But you've got storage under this side. Under the opposite side, you're utilising the drawers. Press the buttons and that will open the drawers. And again, in transit, just make sure that you are pushing the buttons in and sliding them out. In the bag here, the previous customers left some straps for the awning. There's also your winter vents here and a fire extinguisher just there. So slide them in when you're transiting away and making sure that you just press the buttons in. And that will be the same on all the locker areas before you then set off. Just make sure that they're all closed. At the end here, you've got a mains plug socket. This will only work when the mains power is turned onto the vehicle. It won't work if you're not hooked up to mains. Into the bathroom area, we've got sink. Works as a normal sink will. Hot and cold, just turn it hot and cold there. Your toilet roll holder. The blue button here is your flush button for the toilet, and you've got an indicator to tell you whether it's full. Now, I mentioned about the blade valve when you were coming to use the toilet, and that's the little black valve in the top there. You operate that using the little slide valve there. So if you slide the valve along to the back of the vehicle, it will open and then won't allow you to pull the toilet cassette out the outside. Pull it back towards the front of the vehicle, and that will allow you to pull your toilet cassette up and close the valve at the top. Underneath, you've got the push buttons into your storage compartments. A nice mirror just up there. Shower area to your right, and your pull cord for your light just above. Now this will come across just utilising the little swing switch here. Yep, and that will slide that across, and you can use that for your shower area. Slide it back across, and then just make sure that you just slide that little locking pin in place, and that will stop the door from moving in transit. You've got a normal shower head, soap holder, and a mixer tap just there. Behind here, we've got your wardrobe. So big wardrobe area, just pull the doors open, they're just magnetised at the bottom. And above, we've got a sky roof light that just pulls down and then manually just opens by pushing the levers up. We've also got a blind in there as well, so you can keep out the light in an evening. Towel holder also comes with the vehicle as well. Now, the locker areas all work the same way. Just pull the hand, press the little button down and lift the handle. So all work the same. So we've got plenty of storage on here, above the lockers, above the bed on that side. And again, when you close them, you'll hear a click. On this side, we've got, again, storage. And in this last locker is where you'll find your aerial. To get a better signal, you'll need to release the coil and push the aerial up. That will give you a greater signal on there. And then there is an on-off button just underneath here. You'll see that there's a little light comes on. That will then allow the signal to come to the actual TV if you want to put a TV. If you want to turn it off, you just press the little button underneath. TV bracket has been fitted by the previous owners, and the vehicle comes with opening roof lights that both have fly screens and blinds. To close this one, you pull the handle down and slide it back, and then pull it down and slide it up. That will allow you to ventilate the vehicle on a hot day like today. Same with the front, and the big large Hecky roof light here also has a blind and a fly screen, but this has a slightly different operation. You'll need to pull the handle down and then just slide it over the little pin here, and then push the button down and pull it up. That will allow you then to have ventilation in the vehicle again. In the front locker area, we've got, again, more storage. The covers for the seats, which I'll come to in a minute, which are under the front lounge either side here. They're the covers for them. We've got more storage at the front and another opening locker here, as well as a shelved unit just here, and more storage just here, along with a pack that is supplied with all the manuals and everything in there. The curtains are just drawn around from either side to screen off in an evening, and the vehicle is fitted with a camera which is mirror mounted. The seats themselves will spin around and adjust at the bottom, and the backrest just there, and we'll slide around, moving them forward and backwards, pulling up the lever bar just underneath the seat there. So you can either have them forward facing or side facing. In the kitchen area, we've got an extension piece which just lifts up there and sits there. To put this down, you'll just need to pull both of them down at the same time, just by pulling the lever down, and then that will go down and fit flush just against there. Comes with a drainer, comes with a washing up bowl, and you've got the 3 burner gas hobs that are just on here, and you've also got an igniter which is on the front, which will do the top cooker area as well as your grill. This Thetford grill has an option of just being on or off, yeah, which is the grill element, sorry, on this side, and the oven option just is on the right hand side, just underneath. Make sure when you're grilling that obviously you just leave that ajar. Yeah. Cupboard spaces in the kitchen area can be accessed by just sliding them out. So we're not going to be short of storage in this model, something that the Elldis model does really well. And then that moves us over to a little utensil drawer just above the fridge, and then the main fridge unit itself. So this is a manually selecting fridge. At the 12 o'clock position, that is the unit turned off. Turn it to the little main socket plug, and that will allow the unit to light up inside, and you will have mains power cooling down the unit. The next option along will work, and only will work, when the engine is running. So please bear this in mind, the battery will only work when the engine is running. And then lastly, the gas. So you'll need to turn it to that point. You'll then need to push this button in and that button until that little orange lever goes into the green. When it goes in the green, just release it, and that is your fridge cooling on gas. Yeah, as soon as you select it off that, then that will move them back down to the white area, and you'll be using your other source of fuel. Inside here we've got a freezer compartment and a fridge, and to turn the unit off, turn the dial to the top, and that will turn off the lights to that particular area. In the kitchen area there's a couple of plug sockets and a couple of light switches just here, which will turn off the main lights. Make sure that you heed the warning on putting the glass down when it is warm, and we've got fly screens and blinds which are fitted to all the windows in exactly the same way. The windows themselves, to open them, you'll just pull down, pull down, pull down, pull down, and then you'll open it up, and twisting the little side little levers will allow the window to stay open to the desired angle of your choice. Make sure before you set off that you are closing all your windows and your roof vents down, and that will stop any movement. In here you'll find your table. This is your freestanding table, and just make sure that you have locked it in place just using the little turnbuckle so that you don't have any extra bangs and rattles when you're moving along. We've also got a main light switch which does your light switches to the back, and these little lights turn on by pressing the buttons just above. That's the same throughout the vehicle wherever you are, so just on and off. Then we come to the make-up bed area. So I'll do this in a few steps, and I always do this exactly the same way, by putting the cushions out the way first and getting you to the first step. So this is it with the curtains and the cushions removed. To lift the units up, just pull the levers up and it'll sit on the gas struts, and will reveal the additional travelling seat belts. Now what you'll need to do to get these down is at the end here, you'll have a little button that presses up on either side, and that will flip the panel down just as I'll show you now. And that basically is giving you access to pull the seats up. Now the seats work in a few stages using the 2 little handles that are supplied to move, pull down and pull up, and that will allow you to sort of put the seats in the right places. And then there we have it. We've got passenger and driver's side seats ready for your passengers. If you don't want these seats in, you get more storage. You'll just remove the 4 bolts from the floor, remove the seats, keep them with the vehicle, guys, because it does add to the value when you come to sell it on, and then you can use that additional area as storage. You just do the opposite to get it back down, and then we're quickly back down to the bed frame. The bed frame just simply slides out and in, and then you use the cushion supplied to formulate the bed for the second bed for the visiting people. On the Elddises, I always turn the bed or the cushion seats around to make the beds, just to give a flatter finish. Some people may look to put mattress toppers just on the top of there as well. But that's how the second bed at the front formulates and makes up for your evening sleeping. To give you a bit of privacy, you've also got a screen that comes across, and it just sits into the little mark at the bottom, and then you've got a smaller one that will come across, and the two just magnetise together. So if I step back here, give you that privacy from whoever is in the rear of the vehicle. In the kitchen area, we've got storage area here with a rack for your plates and your cups, and a microwave that will just work when the mains power is onto the vehicle. When setting back up the lounge area, you'll see these little angle bar material. They just slot in the ends there, and then they will give the seat cushions a stable place for you to sit back on. And there's one either side, it doesn't matter which side they go in. And then just put the cushions too, so you get a nice comfortable seating area where you can put your feet up either side. The cab area, we've got the radio Bluetooth system, we've got the cab aircon, got your hazard lights and your lock button, manual 6-speed gearbox, got cruise control and speed limiter to the bottom. To the top we've got the lights and the indicators. To the right hand side we've got your windscreen wipers, steering wheel controls for both the volume and your phone. We've got the adjuster for the actual mirrors, both top and bottoms, just turning it to the desired mirror you want to change. And we've got your electric window switches for both doors on this side. So that concludes our instructional video for this Elddis Autoquest 185. We hope you've enjoyed the video. We hope you find it usable, and we look forward to hearing your comments and feedbacks. But more importantly, we hope you have a wonderful time and it gives you many joyful adventures. Thanks, guys.